Hello guys and welcome back to my channel Firewall again. In this video I'm going to talk about storage in cloud. This video going to be very important because when you talk about cloud architecture, cloud computing, it's always we have to think about storage options. What are the options available in the cloud, which storage we going to use for our application, and many more things. If I talk about the AWS cloud, Google cloud or Azure clouds, the three common storage available like a block storage, object storage and file storage. With respect to the AWS and Azure and Google, we're going to talk about this storage in details. Which and what options we have, we're going to discuss shortly. So guys, be with me on this video and understand how cloud provides storage options and what are their use cases.
Let's begin by discussing block storage. It is a type of storage area network accessible over a network. A cloud provider uses block storage because it enables the decoupling of the servers, which means it allows separating different components or services within a system, which reduces interdependencies. We know traditionally the hard drive is reside in the server, also known as file storage. However, the challenge is that the server may eventually run out of hard drive space. But with block storage, the storage is located elsewhere, which allows addition of additional hard drives allocation to the storage area network at any time, which enables cloud providers to offer a simple, scalable, and cost-effective solution to their client. Block storage is used by a virtual machine and function as virtual hard drive. In traditional file storage, data is broken down and stored in a block. With the block storage in the cloud computing environment, the data is broken down into blocks, creating a similar experience to the traditional storage system or computers, even though the data is located elsewhere on the network. So think of block storage in the cloud computing environment as a virtual hard drive that you can attach to your virtual servers. Block storage is used by servers, whether they are web servers, application servers, database servers, or any other kind of servers. Now, in the cloud, block storage is the fastest storage available. However, it is important to note that block storage is still relatively slower compared to traditional storage. For instance, a server we can obtain a RAID card that support 90 million input-output operations. In contrast, the fastest storage we can get in the cloud is approximately 250,000 input-output operations per second, which is noticeably slower. All cloud provider offers block storage. AWS refers to their block storage as elastic block storage. Azure calls it Azure Managed Disk, and Google name it Persistent Disk. AWS provides several volume types optimized for different use cases. Number one, provisioned IOPS, SSD, IO1 or IO2. Let's talk about IO2. This tier offers the fastest and highest performance storage in the AWS cloud. It delivers the most input-output operations per second, reducing latency It designed for workload that required a significant amount of input-output operations, such as for the large database use cases. It is well suited for applications that demand low latency, and it offers relatively good throughput, allowing for the movement of approximately 4,000 megabits per second. With IO2, it is possible to achieve over a quarter of millions input-output operations per second, making it an excellent storage option. IO1 compared to IO2 is the second fastest storage option in the AWS cloud. It offers relatively low latency and suitable for workload with a moderate to high volume of input-output operations. It remains good choice for large database and applications that require lower latency. The throughput for this storage type is moderate, reaching around 1000 megabits per second, and it supports up to 64,000 input-output operations per second. Moving down the list, we have general purpose SSD, also known as GP2 or GP3. This storage option provides a good balance of pricing and performance. It is particularly suitable for good volume as it offers persistent storage, meaning data remains intact after a reboot or instance termination. It provides medium input-output operation per second, moderate throughput of approx 250 megabit per second, and it works well with traditional workloads. This type of storage is excellent for development and testing environment as it offers relatively good frame performance at a reasonable cost. Moving down the list, we have EBS throughput optimized SDD, it also called SD1. These options offer a low-cost magnetic storage. Due to its magnetic nature, it has higher latency, resulting in lower input-output operation per second. However, it provides moderate descent throughput for magnetic drive around 500 megabits per second. Think it is RAID array. It is designed for workload that require frequent access, making it suitable for throughput intensive tasks like handling large video files. Moving on, EBS called SDD, also called SC1. This is the lowest cost and lowest performance option in terms of input-output operations per second. It operates relatively low throughput at 250 megabits per second, ideal for infrequent access workload where low cost per gigabit is important. Let's talk about object storage. Object storage is another type of storage area network. In this case, our data is broken down into objects, and what unique about object storage is that each object has its own object identifier and metadata. Metadata refers to data about the actual object. The metadata provides business with valuable information. It helps them locate the object with metadata. You can search for specific data within the object and integrate it into big data environment like data lake. Object storage is used in various big data environments and serves purposes such as backup and archival, software distribution, static website hosting, and big data applications. All cloud providers offer storage solutions. AWS to their object storage, they call it S3. Azure call it Azure Blob, and Google name cloud storage. In AWS, first we have S3 standard, which is traditional object storage. It is suitable for storing data that requires frequent access. You pay a storage fees based on amount of storage used, and you can retrieve and use the data whenever you need it without any additional cost. Next, we have S3 infrequent access. It is essentially the same object storage as before we discussed, but with different pricing structure. With S3 infrequent access, you pay a lower fees for storing the data, but there is a fees for retrieving it. This storage class is idle for data that you don't access frequently but still need readily available. If you need to retrieve the data daily, the retrieval fees may become expensive for you. Another option is S3 Intelligence Tile. With this option, Amazon monitor your storage and automatically place your data in the most effective storage locations. Based on frequency of access, it is an automatic process to manage by the cloud providers. Next, you have Glacier. There is a various forms of Glacier storage, which are essential object storage with lower storage cost. However, there may be a delay in retrieving the data or a higher fees for immediate access. Glacier is typically used for long-term archival purpose or for storing data that isn't frequently accessible. The last type of storage we'll discuss is file storage. It's similar to the hard drive inside your PC and can be accessed over a network. For example, if you have a hard drive in your PC and want to share it with another user on the network, that is what you can do with the file storage. File storage is hierarchical, meaning data is organized into folders. You can have nested folders within the folders, allowing for organized storage. When it comes to file sharing, Windows system use the server message block SMB protocol, while Linux and Unix system uses network file system NFS file sharing. All cloud providers offered managed file storage options. Managed file storage means you don't have to set up a file server as the cloud provider manages it for you. AWS calls their file storage Elastic File System EFS, Azure call it Azure Files, and Google name it File Storage by Amazon, and it's essential the network file system NFS, which was originally developed by the Sun Microsystem and now owned by Oracle. With AWS EFS, you have two options: standard and infrequent access. The standard option provides normal and high performance, while the infrequent access offers lower cost for files that are not frequently accessed. Additionally, you can choose from three performance options: bursting, provisioned, and elastic throughput. Bursting provides a baseline rate that can expand as needed. Provisioned offers guaranteed throughput and is suitable when there is a significant difference between average and peak performance. Elastic throughput automatically adjusts based on your need and is idle when there is less than a 5% difference between average and peak performance.
So guys, I hope you understand how cloud storage works, what are the options are there. Thanks for watching this video guys, and have a wonderful day.